Hello, this is Bill with ServiceTitan Hacks. Thanks for joining me and David and Andy on this fireside chat. Good morning for those on the West Coast. Good afternoon for those on the East Coast. Glad you guys are here. So we're not going to do a demo today or anything like that or a product walkthrough. Not going to do membership sales training. I'm just going to talk to David with Colley Refrigeration about the struggles that we've had with memberships and the things that we've done to overcome those. You know, in my company, that some months we would do really, really good on memberships and other months we would fall off. And we didn't change our membership as far as the pricing or the scripts. I just couldn't figure out exactly why. And, you know, in David's case, he told me, I was talking to him a couple of weeks ago, that Smart AC was able to help him go from 500 to 2,000 memberships in the last year and a half. So I kind of want to dig into that. First, David, thanks for coming. Thanks for joining me on the chat today. Andy, thanks for being here as well. David, give me a little bit about your background, how you got in the business and everything.
Yeah, I mean, same as everybody else. You know, they say air conditioning doesn't you don't choose it; it chooses you. My dad been in air conditioning for my entire life, and then he bought this company in '94. Company's 46 years old, same as me. Since then, about 22, he passed away. So then I took it over, and just been really focused on customer retention, customer focused, like maintenance contracts, keeping those customers, not letting them die, not letting them go elsewhere, looking for somewhere else. You know, the climate's changed a little bit. Back in the day when my dad ran it, it was, just go out, fix it. Customer's going to call you back. Phone book, everybody was there. They find you, and I just saw it shifting. We had maintenance contracts. We didn't have a ton. We weren't a big maintenance company. We were just go take care of the customer, do what we're supposed to, and they'll call you back. With the shift for Google and everything else, everyone's Googling air conditioning, AI, all the smart devices. You can ask your smart device who to call, where to call. They give you a recommendation. So if I can use technology to keep that customer in my back pocket or on your phone, I'm right there, easy to click. They push the button, they got me. And just making that shift to customer retention has helped us go from basically zero to full speed. I mean, we sell maintenance contracts every day. Customers call in, Google, wherever it's coming from, the girls up front, that's what they're focused on. Even though they're not a customer, they're calling with a specific thing. They call, hey, we got this maintenance contract. We can keep this from happening in the future. And we install the Smart AC product.
So you talked to them about it. Your CSRs talked to them about it. As soon as they reach out in the first place, they have kind of like a script and everything like that.
Yeah. I mean, normal stuff. Answer the phone. Thanks for calling. What's going on? Kind of get the feel for where they're at, what they're doing, especially if the first time callers try to get all the information. And, because especially if they came in through Google, if I can capitalize on that spend, that's a lot of money nowadays that we're having to spend to get those people to call us from Google. And then we got a whole script. I have tiered maintenance plans, so I don't try to discriminate against. If you don't want to do it, we have maintenance plans that don't have Smart AC, but if I can capture them and keep them into my sales funnel and keep the customers where I get to go back, keep contact with those customers, we capture them and just keep them.
Would you say that most people choose the Smart AC plan with the sensors, or do you always just offer the plan with the sensors, or you do the app only?
No, we do. Most of my plans are like our mid tier.
Yeah.
That's where most everybody falls into, and they like it because, I mean, I was looking at it earlier on our dashboard. I mean, they can book through ServiceTitan. They can book the calls right there. They don't have to call anybody. They click it. It's done. we do have older clientele that don't like technology. They're like, I don't want that. I don't want you looking at my system. That's fine. That's great. Hey, we can still take care of you. But the fact that we're right there on your phone, they can click in there, they can text, they can chat with us, order filters, maintenance, even if it's broke, they can schedule it right there at their convenience. If it's in the middle of the night, they can schedule it on ServiceTitan when we get here in the morning. Schedule's full and ready to go.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys use the virtual maintenance, or do you always go out and do visits?
We've done a few of the virtuals. Some of the customers would try not to get too techie in the. You can get really techie. You're looking at all this data, and you're looking at this, and you're like, try to keep it where a customer can understand what you're saying. We've done a few here and there. Usually, we still go out and look just because we like to. In Texas, drain lines are our nightmare. So yes, we have water sensors. We have all that stuff on the system where we get alerts, but we still like to keep tabs on, is the system still, like, drain lines are staying clear, everything's staying clear, and just to check on the sensors. I mean, you never know if an animal gets in the attic, knocks something loose, moves something, or the customer themselves, they get up there in the attic and they're like, what's this? And take it. I've had customers call me and I don't know where that sensor went. I'm like, we'll come find it.
Yeah.
But the virtuals are good. You can get on there and just tell the customer, hey, everything's working great. We're watching the system. Nothing's going on out of the ordinary. It looks like you run the temperature roughly at these temperatures, whatever it is. You can see the return air fluctuation, temperatures, and get a good idea of where they run the system.
Yeah, so those sensors were a lot more technical than I thought. Like they were a lot better than I thought. So when I was looking for a solution, what I was trying to do is prevent truck rolls on new systems we'd installed. Right. So as we got better at sales, we got our average tickets up to $15,000. The customer heard about every single option, every add-on that we had, all the IAQ. So we'd install this system, we'd do a great job, we'd do a great quality audit and checkout. And then we come out 6 months later, and my experienced techs would want to try to sell them something because they made commission. And customers were like really turned off by that. They were like, they had heard everything that we offered at that point, and they either bought it or they didn't. So I didn't feel like there was a lot of opportunity within that 6 months, 1 year, maybe even 2 years. And we were up north, so I didn't have to worry in Ohio about, water and flooding and all that all the time, like we do down in Florida. And also my experienced techs did not like doing new system tune-ups either. So I was searching on the market for a solution that I could monitor the systems remotely, give the customer the peace of mind, and know that their system was operating good, but didn't have to go out and try to sell them something to make money. So we started out doing it with just every new system just got a smart AC. That was it.
Yeah. I mean, we put those on. You're right. Technician, if you need something for somebody to do, you don't want to sell your seasoned technician because obviously it costs too much.
Yeah.
And then he goes out there and he's like, man, this unit's like 2 months old, 6 months old, not even a year old. Why am I doing a tune-up? And that does on the new systems with the smart AC. It's like we can just log in. Hey, the unit's working fine. Send the customer a message. You send them a video or a message and say, hey, everything's working great. No issues. Unless they, sometimes we'll get feedback. Hey, this room's hot or this room's cold, which is great because sometimes you don't get all that feedback either. But it helps with the customer knows that you care. You're watching. You just didn't sell them something and leave.
Yeah, right. That makes sense. So let's talk about that. That 500 to 2,000 memberships. So how long was that? How long did it take you to get to that level?
We're creeping up on it about a year and a half right now, getting there. And it just goes back to really focusing, going from just fixing it and leaving, versus staying and taking care of the customer and making sure that they understand. I mean, my biggest one, the easiest one for everyone, even in all the air conditioning to relate to, is the auto industry. You don't run your car forever and not change the oil or not change the tires or not change the air filter. So we kind of break it down like that. This is going to monitor the system. You got your service engine light on your dash in your car. This is kind of the same thing, except you actually have an experienced air conditioning company watching your system for you. So if you're away at work, don't know the system's broke, we're able to look and see. And they like that. They like the fact that we're watching it and paying attention. Now, we fine tune some stuff. Some customers will call them and say, hey, we're getting these alerts. Is everything okay? Yeah, everything's fine. Okay, we just wanted to check in and make sure. We'll dial in the system, make adjustments as we need to the next time we're out. But just really going in and making sure the customer understands that the air conditioning system, you got to take care of it. They're expensive. They're not cheap like they used to be. They're getting more and more and more expensive. Yeah. More technical. And they just need to be taken care of.
And they don't last as long especially if you don't take care of them. I mean, God bless them that they don't last as long. It's good for business. But
I went and looked at one yesterday. It was 23 years old. And I'm like, wow, okay. They don't make them like this anymore. Yeah. I mean, as long as we take care of it and do all the monitoring, it rolls right into maintenance. It's the most important days it's installed. So you can buy the most expensive unit out there. If you don't put it in and maintain it, it's not going to last.
You think, so you have this script that your CSRs say, and then your techs go out and do the service call, and they kind of take it from there. And they have, I'm sure, some sort of scripting that they say about it. Do you think that the majority of the memberships are sold before the techs even get there? Like the CSRs have enough interest?
Yeah, my girls up front are rock stars at it. I mean, just like everybody, you spent for maintenance contracts, but these girls are ladies. They're rock stars. They let them know about it right up front. Schedule the service call because with the maintenance contracts, you get discounted service calls, discounted repairs. So if we can capture that up front, because same goes to said, your seasoned tech doesn't want to go do a maintenance call on a new system. Seasoned tech don't really like selling maintenance contracts either. They like to fix stuff.
Yeah,
they get that.
They don't like doing anything, man.
But then they get the gratification of selling and fixing the unit, and they look at maintenance as busy work, even though it gets you back into the house and it does keep you busy, but it keeps you in front of that customer so that you can go fix it later.
Yeah, for sure. That makes sense.
So the girls up front, they're really good. They go through it, and a lot of our maintenance contracts are sold before the tech even sees the customer.
Do you spiff the girls for selling them too? Yeah. So I bet that probably was a big change when you started doing that, or have you always done it?
We've always done it. I gave them a little bit more than what we did before, and then just because I wanted to make a big push, for maintenance, keeping these going and growing that database. I forgot what I was going to say.
That's all good, man. That makes sense. So I wanted to go over something as far as lifetime value goes. So I think that in this industry, that when we look at, customer acquisition costs, which we pay a lot of money to get into someone's home, to get a new customer, right? David, what do you think you pay for a new customer?
Oh man, it used to be like $350. So I think with everything now, it's more. I mean, I think you're $400 or $500 per customer just to get the phone to ring.
Yeah. So I mean, you go out and you do that first appointment, right? And you kind of, what I found is, and I did this myself when I was spending a lot of money on marketing. I'm sure you spend a lot of money on marketing. I see that nice logo there. So you got
we rebranded. It used to be old and bland, but we've spun that around.
Is that you on the?
That's actually my dad.
That's your dad?
So yeah, we wanted to do something a little different, and a lot of people in the community knew who he was, and we got rebranded. He did a great job, and I get phone calls all the time. Hey, I like what you do with the truck. It looks just like your dad. The people that knew, they're like, oh. I'm like, okay, great. It makes me feel good because I'm like, okay, you got it. You understood. Yeah.
That's awesome. The branding looks good. And yeah, but you spend $450, $500 to get into someone's home, or is that just to get a qualified lead that you then have an opportunity to book?
Yeah, I mean, Google leads, depending on time of the year. There for a while, they were getting up there crazy. My marketing guy told me the other day we're running some new stuff for like 0 for 60 and stuff like that, and those are actually performing better at a lower spend than some of my other generic just ad, your branding ads that I run.
Yeah,
and I think just to get on the ring, just to get the phone to ring, I'm around $450 just to get the phone to ring through Google.
So much money. It's so much. So
and that's why I get mad too when the guys go out and they at least don't get a maintenance contract out of it. You should have walked away with at least that. And
I used to look at
people that don't.
I used to look at marketing as far as like getting in the home, getting an appointment. I would look at the revenue that I got from that appointment as the ROI on the spend, right? So I go out and I sell $1,000 and I spent $800 to get in the home. I would be like, well, this is a waste, right? I don't want to do this anymore. But then I thought, the way that a software company looks at it and the way bigger companies look at it is they look at their customer acquisition cost. How much money do I have to spend to get a paying customer? And then how long do I have the customer? What's their lifetime value, right? And so I put together, I'm going to share this with you if that's cool. All right. Yeah. Put together, can you see it okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I put together this customer revenue tracker. And what I did was all I needed for this was the customer ID from ServiceTitan. So I got this data from my ServiceTitan before I sold my company. Customer ID, the job value, like the total revenue from the job, and then the completed date of the job. And so I had maybe like 7 years of data in there, and I put in my cost per lead. And so for you, I just put in 500. And then what is your booking rate? And so your customer acquisition cost $625 to get in the door, right? And so I had all of these jobs, and I found out that within 1 month of having a new customer, I got $1,100 on average from those customers. Now, there were some customers that were $89 diagnostics only, and I never worked for them again. There were some on the other end that turned into $25,000 system sale, right? So this is just totally blended across all of those. And then I started to look, I said, well, I wonder how much more money those customers get or give me over their life, right? So after 2 months, how much do I get? And obviously it wasn't tons after 2 months, because usually you do the work for them, you don't see them for a little while. But as we start to go out, I noticed that the lifetime value of the customer obviously increased, right? So right here, when I was looking at that $1,100, if I looked back and I just put in my gross profit margin, it wouldn't really even make sense to spend $625 on a customer if you were going to have them for 1 month, right? And one visit. But as we kept them, here was our break even. And as you can see, it went longer and longer. And what that was our members that we went to every 6 months or every year that would eventually buy a replacement system, which was that big chunk of money. So
Chasing, yeah.
What's that?
I said that's what you're chasing.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I think that, and I have that calculator I can share with you guys. Let me close that down, get it in there. All right.
That's great, Bill. I'm glad you shared that. That's exactly what we're seeing. That maturity aspect. Everyone's chasing ROI very, I'd say, aggressively, but the reframing that you just did is so important. It's that because that over a 2-year and 3-year period, massive returns come back. We were running some analysis on David's account this week and looking at it, and he's about 18 months in, and he's got great leading indicators of where everything's headed on sell-through rate, job bookings, all that. But I literally made the statement to him, it's about account maturity at every location. And so you have to be great at retention doing that. But that retention over time, we see it's a real compounding effect for your entire membership base. If you're converting at a higher rate, which David is, he's doing a fantastic job on that. His sell-through rate's 2x on his smart plans versus legacy, and his retention has been fantastic. And so those two things combined, that CLV is great, man. That's a really cool chart. I'm glad you pulled it up.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. I just, I talked to other contractors who always wanted to quit their marketing efforts because they didn't see the ROI fast enough. And I just thought about it like, man, if you buy a stock, do you really expect a 30-day return, or you're getting rid of the stock, right? Like, how long, if I put $625 out there, how long can I wait before it's returned to me and still like the marketing channel? So what I put together, that calculator is very simple, right? It doesn't have like your specific marketing channels. It doesn't have all of the, residential versus commercial. So I've seen the calculators that you guys put together. It's obviously a lot more in depth than that. But I just wanted something simple that ServiceTitan companies could easily upload into a system and check it out. But you guys have, can you kind of tell me a little bit about how your analysis works?
Sure.
With LTV and membership retention and everything?
Yeah, well, I think like you nailed it. And then it's about the time span that you're reviewing it. So the way we look at it is when we first start to work with somebody, we always try to make sure that they've got legacy benchmarks in place. And it's so sometimes they do, sometimes they don't have the complexity. And if not, we try to help put that together because we want to know where we're starting and we want to identify where are the key areas we're trying to improve on. And then right out of the gate, we're really looking at, are you doing the operational activities that lead to true change? So like David said, we increased our commission plan a little bit to drive a little incentive. That you would not believe how important those things are, because a renewed sense of interest from the employees drives a lot of engagement. And right out of the gate, you're setting the right path, right? So we look at things like that. We look at the sensor, we call it verified install rate. Is it going in where you can actually see data from the system? Because the better the data is, the better the insights, the more likely you're going to be able to go or not go to the home to save truck rolls, or go when you want the revenue. So we kind of put together what was a list of like operational indicators that you're doing the right activities. You structured the plan the right way, people are aligned, and you're doing the right things. And then over time, we have like benchmark hurdles. So let's say after 6 months, we look back and we look at some basic things like, how has your revenue per ticket changed? How's your truck roll per home? Like, are you continuing to go the right way? And are the numbers starting to add up? We can't put a really, I'd say, meaningful, complicated, full membership P&L ROI together until you've got about 2 years of data. But what we can do is every step along the way, look at the activities that lead towards that. And we've got customers that have been there long enough that we can build literally a line-by-line complete P&L of their entire membership program and tell them exactly what they're making, what they were doing before, what they're making now, and the exact, to the cent dollar value that SmartAC has brought to them. But that takes time because, as you pointed out, most of your revenue isn't returned in year one, right? When you think about how this transition happens, they called you to fix something. And if your people did their job, they just did a great service, a great repair, or a great replacement, that thing's running well. The chances of you being back to fix something on that system in that first year are actually pretty low.
Yeah, right.
Where you do get the opportunity is like having a water sensor or something in there, because those things can change rapidly. They have nothing to do with the actual, performance, the delta T of the system. But really, we start to see that tipping point in that 18 to 24 months. That's when the repeat revenue starts. And then in year 3, like it's a big jump.
So you think that, so I'm going to ask you, Andy, do contractors come to you like looking to improve their memberships? Is that kind of how they find you? On the membership side, is it more about the sensors? What kind of things you think introduce that conversation?
It's absolutely evolved over time. We created a platform that's a hardware software product mix to help overall customer engagement, customer retention. What's evolved over time is we realized there was a gap in the market about true knowledge of customer buying practices and customer psychology, customer experience and use of data, and how to operationalize some of those things into having a better program that's more profitable. So our business is kind of split right now. Half of it is all the technology and the cool stuff that we make. But a huge part of it is the consulting services that we bring from the time somebody signs a contract. And we don't charge for any of that stuff. That's all part of it. But we realized if we didn't help the customer activate these things and bring that knowledge base, share best practices, create benchmarks, and drive a real focus on the program, then it didn't get done in the way that was possible.
Yeah.
So we figure out our best chance for success was to make them successful at something. Quite honestly, they could pay somebody else to come in and tell them a lot of the same things. We just do it as coupled with a part of our thing so that to try and make it easier.
So when you go back to the data side of it, do you, I would imagine a lot of contractors don't have great historical data. So do you help them like clean that up or anything? Because man, I've seen so many contractors ServiceTitan, and it's like, I don't think I can really get valuable data out of this, right? Especially if it's imported from a legacy system. So is there a way to help contractors get that so they can kind of understand where they are on the baseline?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. If we don't have the knowledge in-house, and we know ServiceTitan pretty well, but we are not ServiceTitan integrators and we're not experts. So we've actually partnered with these success organizations and ServiceTitan integrators that will pay for them to come in and do benchmark audits and set up like the initial benchmarking. And then we also pay for them to do the pre-launch audit to go make sure that everything's set up from an accounting standpoint, operational tagging, all that, so that when the program actually launches and runs, you can track it, right? And you can actually look at the operational activities and make sure everything's going the right way. Because you're right. No, I mean, ServiceTitan can be truly wonderful, and it can be truly frustrating, depending on the level of expertise you have in-house or that you've paid for, or how you're set up.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's probably why the ServiceTitan Hacks group exists and has 10,000 members, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Probably a little bit of the frustration that comes behind it. It's a behemoth, and a lot of time is invested in by contractors to try to understand it, right, and get it optimized. So that's nice that you help contractors with the ServiceTitan through that third party and really help them understand the membership programs. I mean, I think that the way that I came up with my membership program how was that? I just looked at my competitors' websites, saw what the features were, and said, all right, we'll do it like that. And I just got killed on it. And you know what? You go back to it, David, where you spiff the ladies on the phone. I never did that. It was such a bad idea not to do that.
Like you said, your first maintenance contracts were just looking. That's how we were too. We just pulled something out of thin air and was like, hey, let's see if this works. And when we partnered with Smart AC, and like they gave us a whole new way to look at it, and they helped us build out everything. And then I'm like, okay, well then let's go. And then building out the spiffs, and the guys get spiffs, the girls get spiffs. So it's whoever sells it gets it. And it was a complete game changer. The way they look at it, Smart AC looks at it a little different than what we do as contractors. So they've been great to work with, helping us figure it all out and getting it all lined out. And then help behind the scenes if we have issues with it. It's been we have our lady we call Mary, and she jumps right on it, takes care of it, warranties, this, that, whatever needs to be done, she's on it.
Do you have the integration with ServiceTitan set up, or?
Yeah. So we can go, and that's what I was looking at earlier. Like, so when the customer goes into the app and then they book the call through the Smart AC app, it automatically books straight over into ServiceTitan. So it's populated in there and ready to go. So all we have to do is just confirm it, make sure everything's there, and schedule it. And so then if you get any alerts, you get any performance alerts, stuff like that, it automatically moves those into ServiceTitan so that in the mornings, the CSRs, they see all those and they reaching out to those customers.
Kind of like drops in as a booking notification, like a web form
so
would.
Middle of the night, whatever. Even like I was saying earlier, the customer, if they go in and book it, it's automatically dropped in. They don't have to go to Smart AC dashboard, get all that, drag it over here. It's just moves right in. And then
you have
all their info is already there.
You have the branded app, or is it the Smart AC one, or is it the one that's branded with your logo on it?
It's got our logo and everything on it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. I felt
and
cool
that's what's cool, like
that.
Talking about the marketing side of it. I mean, now you're in their phone. You actually take up real estate on their phone. So you're right there every day. They look it through their phone if it's there, and they just click it and you're done. So there's no more ad spend for that customer to call through Google or Facebook or wherever you're advertising, Yelp, all that stuff.
Do you guys use like the push notifications for sending out maintenance reminders or specials or anything like that? Or do you kind of just use it more as a way that the customer communicates back to you when they have an issue?
A lot of it is customer coming to us.
Right.
We'll use it for, to try to trigger if we need to get a hold of that customer. ServiceTitan takes a care of a lot of that stuff, like maintenance reminders and stuff. We have all that set up with emails via there. But if the customers aren't responding or receptive to all of our avenues, then we'll use everything to try to get them in there. Because you always get the phone calls where, hey, I never got this, or you never did this, and so we try to eliminate all that the best we can.
Do you did you have your techs install them, or do you have the installers install them, like the sensors?
So we leave it all to the techs. So the technicians, they keep the kits on their trucks. She keeps like 4 or 5 kits on every truck, and then, so the service guys will go out on new systems. Service guys go out, commission the system, make sure it's all working like it's supposed to. Install that, install the Smart AC. Get the customer to download the app, walk them through the entire setup. So they'll make sure that they can log into the app, make sure they set it up, make sure they understand how to use it before they leave.
Yeah, for sure. That makes sense. So one of the things that we used to do in our membership, again, this was just copy and paste from our competitors. We would give $250 off of a replacement AC or furnace and $500 off a replacement full system. But then when I went to Smart AC, this is another thing I didn't know. They have these credits that a customer would build up in their app. And so Smart AC helped me figure out how to convert that dollar amount into credits in the app. And how do you use those credits?
We call them Colley credits.
What's that?
We call them Colley credits.
Yeah.
And so you'll get a bonus, sign up bonus, depending on which level you sign up for. And then every month that you're on the program, you get X amount of points to that. And so the app keeps up with everything. ServiceTitan actually integrates in there too. So we can go in their ServiceTitan and see their account balance there too.
Oh,
it's pretty neat. So what we do is any service over $500, we let the customer use those credits for anything, whether it's duct cleaning, IAQ products, new system, whatever it be. Like right now, we're running ads for dry rig cleaning with all the winter time, everybody running their clothes, heavy loads of clothes, doing dryer vents. We've had people, hey, can I use my credits for that? That's fine. Let's use them. It makes them, you're giving something back to them.
Yeah.
Instead of just discounting stuff, hey, if you buy from me, I'll give you these. But it accumulates up. I've had some customers go in and spend thousands more dollars with me because they had a $250 credit bonus. They'll spend $2,000 or $3,000 and use the $250. So, I mean,
like a gift card, right? They almost feel like they have to use it, right?
Yeah. And then along with that, on our top tier plan, we also offer filter credits. So they get X amount of dollars. They can order their filters. You can order your filters at any time through the app, but we give them a discount on the filters as well. And
yeah, that's nice.
Dropped and sent right to you, so it keeps them from going to Home Depot or Lowe's and going down the filter aisle, because we all know who's standing at the end of the filter aisle is the Home Depot AC salesman trying to sell the new system.
Yeah, with a $9.95 tune-up, right?
I saw that. Hey, somebody posted that, and I was like, $9.
Yeah. It's like, I got to get this $9 guy out here, right? I want to see what his conversion rate is, right? Everybody gets a new system. Everybody gets one, no matter what.
Right.
Yeah. Those credits are a pretty good idea. Do you still give discounts on the front end, like when they purchase the maintenance plan, the smart AC, or do you just deal with on the credit side, if that makes sense?
So it's the monthly. They can pay all up front if they want to, and then we do monthly payments, and then it's just that flat. And then for any repairs or anything, we have discounts built in. Ours 15% discount on repairs, and then they get a sign up bonus. So if there's any major repairs, that's there for first time customers that are calling you with a problem, and they sign up with your maintenance. You give them the sign up bonus and the different things to show them and get them moving on the plan and lock that customer in.
When you switched over to this, did you change your plans at all, or were they the kind of the same?
We changed them a little bit. Our pricing actually went up. We're actually more expensive than we were before, which everybody was kind of like, we can't go up. People are complaining of the price already, and there are other people in my area that do it cheaper. Yeah. And I'm like, we have a better product. We're better.
You're always going to have that, though, right? There's always somebody who'll do it cheaper, even though it's not the same thing.
Yeah, it's just a better product. It's better. We're a little bit more expensive, but there's more bells and whistles. And, like on our top tier plan, you talked about
baby. I knew that dog. I knew that dog would start barking. I knew it.
You talked about it. No, on our top tier plan, we offer lifetime warranty on repairs. So as long as they stay on plan, if you pay me to change a condenser fan motor, you'll never pay for that fan motor again as long as you stay on our maintenance plan. Even if it goes out 5 years from now, we'll change it free, parts and labor. As long as you didn't miss any repairs, any monthly payments.
Yeah, that makes sense. What happens? Do you go back and get the sensors if they miss the payments, or kind of just deal with it at that point? You know what I mean?
You haven't had a lot of cancellations. We've had a few. People move. People do different things. I try to get the new homeowners information, try to make it transferable. Like, hey, we'll just let the new homeowners have it just to keep up with them. I've had a few. We do have a cancellation fee.
Mm-hmm.
That's always a sticky subject. So at that point, I'm like, just let me have my gear back. No questions asked. Let me come get it. We won't pressure you in anything. We mutually agree to part ways. Go get the equipment. We'll bring it back. And I think we figured out a way to just repurpose the equipment. We'll clear it all out and redistribute it somewhere else, as long as everything's working and we got everything there.
Yeah.
I hate that. I've even gone to the point where some people have well, we didn't really use it, or we didn't see the value. And I'm like, hey, keep it for another year for free. Let's just try it.
Mm-hmm.
Because at least then I'm still with that customer. I didn't lose them. I know you're going to lose that money, but I'd rather play long term, like we talked about earlier. I want to keep them for years, 2 or 3 years. I want to stay long term.
Yeah. And I think about that, like I added plumbing to my HVAC company. Let's see, when I was maybe 8 years in, and I looked at it and I was like, man, if I would have had more members, that would have been a great plumbing opportunities right there. Now, I mean, I had the list of customers that I could reach out to, but when they're a member, it's a totally different feeling, right? Or a totally different relationship you have. Yeah. So looking at then your lifetime value of the customer increases because you add water heaters and all their plumbing and underground and everything. So that graph that I showed just goes up at a serious rate once you do multiple trades. So that's again why the retention is so important.
Well, that's why I've talked to you. You can take extra water sensors and add them onto it. You can put them in the water heater pans. You can put them under kitchen sinks. You can put them anywhere that there's water or had been water issues. So when you label them, if you got plumbing business or the customer just wants to know, got that, or even if you're in freeze areas, there, the sensors will tell you it's about to freeze in the attic. I mean, we got a lot of those at first until we dialed it in, and we're like, what are these? And then we first got on it, and we're like, oh, that's what that is. We don't need that down here. I mean, temperature's dropping, but it wasn't that important for the customers. They were getting alerts, and we're like, okay, we'll tweak it and get rid of that. But that's, added value. We can tell you if it's a vacation home, hey, it's getting cold down here. Your pipes are going to freeze.
Yeah, for sure. Well, where's your company located? You probably don't have a lot of that. You said you're in Texas.
No, we're Houston. I'm about an hour south of Houston, but I do go into Houston for stuff. We're down on the coast. If you Houston, Galveston, we're to the left of Galveston, straight down Lake Jackson, Freeport. Clute is home base. Yeah,
that's awesome. So yeah, I'm in South Florida, but my heating and AC company was in Columbus, Ohio. So didn't have to worry about the water issues up there. There was plumbing issues, but there wasn't all of these air handlers that were leaking water all into the drain pan like they have down here. So I see so many comments in our community Facebook group about that. And so I just think like, hey, Smart AC would have sent out an alert, and you can get.
You almost have to have in our climate, Florida, Texas, a sheetrocker on payroll. Sometimes, not only for water, but just guys accidentally hitting the sheetrock, being clumsy, in a hurry,
running thermostat wire, falling through ceilings.
I fell through a few.
Have you?
Yeah. Back
it's not funny, but it
younger years,
as long as you don't get hurt, right? Yeah. Awesome. So, yeah, man, that's great that you're able to grow your memberships like that. I'm sure it's really been awesome for your business, and keep it up and everything. And if any of the listeners want to learn a little bit more about Smart AC and how it works, I'm going to send you guys a link through the email, everybody that was on the call today live and everyone that registered. And Andy, when they put their information into that, what does Smart AC do? What are you guys going to give them or show them?
That's a good question. I probably should have aligned with my marketing team for this. So it depends. If it's a link to our landing page, there'll be an area where they can book directly through that. They can book a demo, and then one of our people will get on with them. If it's just the information, they say, I'm interested in learning more, then it'll be one of our account executives that will reach out and talk to them, and just do a little discovery and say what interested you, what's the state of your business, what are your primary concerns and pain points, because everyone's different, right? I'll talk to someone in 30 minutes that'll say, I can't sell memberships, my conversion's terrible, but they love me. And then the very next call will be, I'm amazing at selling them, but I'm losing 50% every 12 to 18 months, right? Everybody's got a different thing. And so it's a part of that discovery to say, what can we help you with? And each business is in a different place.
Perfect. I'm gonna pull these comments up on screen if you guys can see them. Let me kind of minimize this. Okay, here we go. All right. So here's what we got. Go through some of those. So Christina asks, is Smart AC an actual system, or is this a feature that's added to new unit installs? Andy, do you want to answer that for Christina?
Sure. Yeah, it's a complete independent hardware and software platform. So a set of sensors that get added. It can be added to any home. It doesn't matter the OEM or the thermostat. Takes about 10 to 15 minutes for a technician to put them in place. No tools, no wiring, super easy. And then all of that data comes back to us via the cloud. We process it all, and then the interactions between us and the homeowner, contractor, all that is taken care of through our back-end architecture and our software. And then contractors get an enterprise dashboard separately that they can look at all the details. They don't have to. All of our stuff integrates directly into ServiceTitan for operational workflows. So it is a separate thing, but we try to make it so you don't actually have to do anything differently than the way, operate the business every day, which is, book calls and run service.
Awesome. Let's see here. So Wes asked, what do you spiff them for selling a plan? So David, what do they get when they sell them?
I mean, the minimum plan is $20.
$20.
Top plan is 25. So it's not a ton, but it's enough to change your hourly rate for an hour. It doesn't take that much to install.
Yeah.
It's easy. It's just a short discussion. So
one of the things we like to do when we first start working on a new launch, we do what's called a quick start bonus. That's paid directly from Smart AC to the technicians, where we'll actually double that rate. And we do that for some period of time, 30 to 90 days, to really motivate the tech to get used to the new technology and the change. Because there's some different change. They have to say a few different things on site and take 10 to 15 minutes to install it. But that motivation really gets them comfortable. And then one of the things we do over time is when we share the economics, we say, look, you're currently spiffing them this amount. You could double that, and it doesn't make a meaningful difference in your overall program profit. But if it makes a meaningful difference in their motivation, right? And so that's where it's all about dialing that in and figuring out what drives people, right? And so it could be $5 in some cases, or $20.
Yeah.
Some of my guys, when we went through that, and they did pretty well. They got $1,000 or more. Some of the guys, so it was good. It kept them motivated.
That's perfect. Yeah. Teresa asked, can you share the script your CSRs use? So I don't know if you have one. Probably not with you. If we could send
I can get one. They have copies of them up there. They got a whole book they keep beside them, and she flips over to it when she does that. Got it tabbed out, little binder for all the different things that she has, and she keeps it open to that. But I can get it together, get it to you.
Okay, perfect. A lot of comments. Thanks for all the comments. Wes did share a link here to Smart AC, to that demo where you can get more information. All right, perfect. Does anybody else have any other questions that we haven't answered? Anything else?
I have a question for David. Yeah. How long from the time you said I want to do this till you were up and running? What was that implementation period like?
Oh man, I think y'all had me when I said let's do it. I was up and running in a week. Oh, fast. Well, and it helped too. I mean, y'all are close to me, fortunately, right there in Houston. I think we were up and running in a week. Did the whole setup. I think it took us longer to really just to dial in the new maintenance plans. It took a few days, and then got everything together. Did a webinar or a Zoom meeting just to get all the guys up to speed, and then it was pretty painless. It was pretty easy once you got all the guys on board with what was going to happen, how it was going to work. Because unfortunately, I went through a couple other painful monitoring programs I won't mention, and finally made my way to Smart AC. And so they already had some negative connotations. They were just like, man, really, you're doing this again? The last two didn't work. I'm like, I promise, we got it. Let's go. I was like, if this doesn't work, we won't do it anymore. And it's been great ever since. Everyone's been great. Everyone's been on board. So once they got past that, I had to fight that a little bit at the beginning, but y'all had us up and running in about a week. Let's say really strong 2 weeks, but you could be up and running in a week if everything's ready to roll.
Perfect. Took me a little bit longer than that to do it, but I went back and forth on changing the plans because I wasn't really confident in the plans we offered. And so I asked Smart AC, like, what's the best practice that you have for plans? And the ones that they showed me, the different options were different than what I had. So I think I took a little bit too long picking what our plans were going to be and how the credits were going to work and everything. So I could see where you could get it going a little bit faster than that.
Ours was kind of, we did have some tiered plans before,
Yeah.
but we didn't really push the tiered plans because they weren't really offering anything extraordinary like we do now. Mm-hmm. So it was easy to just adapt the tiering, and but yeah, and then we were able to go pick up, aside from shipping and stuff, we were able just to go up and grab what we needed and get it back here in a timely manner. So we had them on hand pretty quick. And they even, I forgot when y'all came out, but maybe a month or two after, one of your tech guys came out and actually did some ride-alongs, make sure we were all okay. And they all like that. They thought it was cool that they actually came out and did some one-on-one, showing the guys best practices and how to do it.
Appreciate that. We're still early enough. We gotta prove our worth, man. So we're happy. We love it when people let us on site. I mean, we learn as much as I'm sure the technicians learn about the product.
Yeah. I mean, y'all are free. More than welcome to come anytime. Not too far away.
So Philip asks, is there a way to market this in an email campaign? And is there a way to allow the clients to self-checkout? So who wants to take that? Andy, you want to take that?
Yeah. So it's a great question. And with the emergence of a lot of the AI outbound or AI agentic text message related interactions, we're starting to see that become a lot more popular trend, where we're actually driving people through the engagement process in the very beginning without a human involved. So I would say historically it hasn't been strong. There have been some companies that will help you put e-commerce sites up where you can buy a membership over the phone or over the internet. Not great adoption rates, because sometimes it takes a person or an AI to do a little bit of back and forth as to why it's so valuable. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'd say that I would venture to say that by the end of this year, that will probably be one of the biggest changes in the industry. Is you're going to see a lot more agent-based outbound engagement where less humans are involved in the process, but you're reaching a transaction.
So we use an AI after hours, and the AI will, if they're a new customer or anything, don't have a maintenance contract, it will offer for them. It won't actually book it or do any of the things, but it'll offer it and give a little bit of an explanation, and then it'll dump that info into ServiceTitan for the next day for the CSR to bring it back up that they were interested in. That's about as far as we get with it. I like the one-on-one interaction.
So we got another question. This is for Andy. Do you guys have example tiered maintenance plans? I remember you showed me some examples when I first started. So
I do. Absolutely, we do. But I will always say one size doesn't fit all, because to David's point, you have to know how to present a tiered plan. If your techs are not good at walking through good, better, best, or telling that homeowner a value differentiation, then you can actually muddle it up with tiered plans. So it really needs to fit the skill set. The ladies he's got up front can talk through that well because they were doing it previously, but now they have better differentiation. If you've never done a tiered plan, you're going from non-tiered to tiered, it's important to look at that, talk through that. But yeah, we've got examples for single plan, for 2 and for 3. And we want to know how your team is set up and make sure that it's going to launch with success, and know that you may scrap it 60 days in and be like, tier's not working, we need to go back to a single, right? That's okay. Like, that's part of the iteration of getting better. but it's about doing it intentionally, tracking it, and making sure that you're making meaningful progress.
Would you say most contractors do multi-tier plans rather than a single one from what you've seen?
Man, I probably not. I would say I get as many single, this is what we do, one plan, as we do, the 2 or the 3 plans.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hard pressed to point to a lot of success for people that go more than 3. It starts to become very complicated when you start, layering on even more and more and more. You have to try and find reasons why tier 6 is different than tier 1, but I'd say it's probably an even split, a third single, third 2, a third 3, and just depending on the nature of the business. If you're HVAC only, if you're HVAC and plumbing, or you've got electrical, there's, there's some nuances there. But that's what we do every day, is we work with you to figure those things out and try to represent some examples that we think, will be best for, how you will succeed in the market.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So Teresa has a question. Are your tier plans related to the number of units that the customer has?
No.
Okay.
Number of units, it's the same price. If you're going to charge them $20 a month, it's $20 a month for each unit. The tiering is, do you want special privileges for different tiers, like lifetime warranty versus not lifetime warranty? Do you want no maintenance no call out fees versus a discounted call out fee? So it's really customize it however you want to. You can do it that way. I don't. Mine's typically benefits and features.
Yeah, that makes sense. Let's see. So Stephanie, you can add the sensors for plumbing also. And so you can add more sensors than normally come in the kit, right? So each kit comes with a supply and return temperature and humidity sensor in one unit, and then a leak detection sensor, but you can buy separate leak detection sensors, right?
Correct.
You can buy more leak detectors, and you can buy more supply sensors too, because you can do them on zone systems. Mm-hmm. You can have them in different zones in the house. Yeah.
Awesome. Great. Thanks for that. All right. So we're coming up on our time here. Thank you for all the questions. Andy and David, thanks for joining me today. It was great talking to you. And I will send this replay out, and I will also send out some of the answers to these questions so you guys have them. And I appreciate you guys joining me today. All right.
Yeah, for sure.
Have a good one.
Thank you, David.